Well, it says we've been live for like 24 seconds. I don't think it's been 24 seconds, but
I see
whatever. We're
6.
we're live here. We're the belated third anniversary show because it's third anniversary for this guy and I'm doing like the Shauna Knot thing here now. I'm now dating myself,
You
pointing
bowser.
this way. Yes, for this man as well, because he started doing a podcast same week 3 years ago, but we're 2 weeks late for saying this. The voice of Cornhole, Donnie. Welcome to the show.
Hello, friends. What's going on, Dougie?
So with that, I've always just shown the bottle. So I've always shown the full bottle of of what is it of that
Yeah,
right there.
it looks like you never drink any of it.
But I have another open bottle here as well.
Wait, would you pour a little at the top there?
Well, it's a second bottle. I've already got into another bottle, right? So and as Josh does with everything, it's a cork. It's not a screw top. It's a cork that he has. So I will put it in my because we talk ACL. We have the little black cup.
Well, we talk ACL, but we are not talk ACL.
Sometimes I get told that I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and you know what? I usually have it here all the time. I used to have a little thing of Kool-Aid here that that I wanted to make. It was like red Kool-Aid, just to have the ACL stuff, right? But we got three people watching. Let us know where you're watching from or who you are or whatever. It's the third anniversary show. If you have anything you want to talk about it. Well, Donnie and I have a few subjects we've been talking about off air because we're live and on time for the first time.
First time ever.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to be okay for the full show. For his connections, we're going to talk about that later on as well. But Donnie, you're number 4 with this here. Oh, I see this guy's here to mess you up. This comment right there is here to mess you up. He told me he was going to do it.
Who is cornhole at the campsite?
He comments here every week. So
Oh,
he just
does
wants
he?
to mess you up.
Yeah, listen, nobody can mess me up. I'm a consummate professional. Listen, I do this for a part-time living.
Yeah, it's part time. Yeah, it's now. I got the word. I'm going to be ramping up here starting December 8th to the 10th. We have the first conference here in Ontario. Unfortunately, due to my real job, I'm going to miss the Friday night, but I'll be there the Saturday, Sunday at the conference and doing some stuff there. And then I know the dates of the other two, but I've been sworn to secrecy of when the other two tournaments will happen. Conference tournaments in Ontario will happen. Then I will be the December 1st to 3rd has been canceled in Saint Jean, Quebec. I believe it was. They were supposed to go there. I'm not sure if they were there then. But I'll also be going there when they have that in Drummondville and Saguenay in Quebec. So I'm going to have to wear the red, white, and blue. Make people happy.
Well, listen, if any of you want to know when they are, just text me. I might have a sneak peek of it. I might have broken into the ACL cabinet.
The Quebec ones are out. They're on the ball in Quebec with the ACL. They've got all their tournaments for the year have been listed already.
Well, that's because it's one of the greatest provinces in the whole wide world, and because they have one of the greatest teams in the whole wide world there.
Sure. But no, it's been 3 years from us doing this here. I got to give a shout out to the guy who gave me a push for doing this here, being Matt Plyle, the newly minted ACL Canada National Director. He hasn't. He's been doing the job since 2016, being the only director in Canada, and now he's 6 years later. He's now been official.
Yeah, 6 years in, almost going on 7. I mean, we got another couple months and 7 years in. Congratulations, Maddie.
Well, because the first official tournament in Canada was the Movember Stash Bash that we had here for the men's health movement in November. So yeah, so we had that, and we had, I want to say we had about 30 teams out to that there. I think it's been so long, but the greatest thing about that tournament is the first ever corn dog that was thrown on video by me was that weekend. So,
Well, there's been many of those captured since then, so,
oh, there
kinda
has, yeah, but
yeah, many.
that
Right,
first one, I
yeah.
have that first one is been documented, and it's
I think I
a
have
little
some
proud of
world
it.
famous corn dogs thrown in Niagara when, you were playing Trey.
Don't remember, don't remember that at all. But yeah, and as Cornwall at the campsite, which I will give it out, that is the one and only Keaton, who's always on the show watching. So Keaton, he's at work. We can't say his last name because he's at work.
Well, listen, you know what? Well, when you really talk about the kinda national director or, conference director, right? That really is the person that has to answer all the dumb questions, right?
Oh,
Because you're never gonna know every single rule, especially when you're up and running and, most of, the directors from ACL come from kind of Monday, Tuesday nights, whatever, you know what I mean, the local league night, and then start bleeding over into the weekends. But when you're first starting, you don't know everything, and you need somebody there as a resource. And Matt's been an amazing resource to all of Canada, but also even traveling down and doing some of the stuff down here in the states and everything else. That's what it's really about. It's about bringing others along with you, because the biggest statement I despise is growing the game, but the game can't get bigger unless we grow it, unless we bring others in. So we need those directors. We need, some of the locals. We need everything to be happening in order for this game to get bigger and bigger as we move forward, Doug.
well, exactly. And Matt he's dealt with a lot. I know some people get frustrated with it at times, but he's the amount of work that I've seen him do, because he had a day job that was paying well. Like he was living pretty good, and he gave that up to do cornhole full time. And he's dove in feet first, and he's just, I think, for the amount of growth in Canada here, is everything, I think, goes onto his shoulders, or is a kudos to him, because he's the one that's really just helped everybody. No matter who you are, if you come to him for a question, he's going to help you out in the best way that he can. Right?
Well, you talk about it. Like when I came up to Niagara, it was really hard, right? Because he's running a pretty successful cornhole company, and he's the national director at the same time, and at the same time trying to put on the first ever ACL Canada kind of open, right? Or whatever we called it back then, national.
Yep.
They called it an international. I don't know. They've changed the name 72 times, but he was doing kind of double duty that weekend, and he kept it together. He was running the booth, he was running the tournament, and he was also trying to help run the live feed at the same time.
Yep.
So he really, and was coordinating with the ACL the whole time, trying to make everything keep moving forward and get ready for TV. So I mean, that's not easy. Nobody really understands, when you think of a regional or a conference, and a lot of people don't understand what goes into 2.5 days of cornhole
Mhm.
from an organizer standpoint, right? You gotta first get the venue. You gotta line up when it's gonna happen, what's gonna do. You gotta get the marketing out there, and then, you gotta get all the boards together, and then you need to pay some people to show up and help you put it together, right? I mean, setting up those boards aren't easy.
Oh no, not at all. And for Matt, you talk about him being, being a national director, conference director. Matt, for the longest time, ran local, regional, conference, and then the national events. So it's and then plus ran. He's actually now got the two companies, but it's so he's doing all of that there while still, he's got two young kids, right? It's for what he does. He will never get enough credit in my eyes, because people still want more. He could be doing more. He could be doing more, but I think he goes over and above what he needs to do.
Well,
And we see the guys in the States with, there's that big, you see that whole traveling crew of putting on tournaments. Here it was one guy. It was Matt doing everything.
no, I'll never give him that much credit. No, just kidding. He does a great job. But, and that's the thing is when you really look at the traveling circus that is the ACL, there's if you get to go behind the scenes, and I have a couple pictures on my phone from behind the scenes at the ACL. I mean, when you're talking, broadcast, there's like 20 to 30 people helping getting that set up, right?
Yep.
You've got the people setting up the court. You've got, depending on where you are, you've got, either the Teamsters or whoever it is have to set up all the lights and all the wiring and right. So there's crews that go into that. But when we're in Canada, I think as it was getting set up, I think I only maybe saw 5 or 6 people actually setting it up. No, but even the, like,
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
live
know. Yeah,
court too,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Putting up the VersaCourt, doing all those. I think it was not like down in the States where people had to be, you can't move this or you can't touch that chair. It was literally like the people that were helping to run the tournament were making the tournament move forward.
yeah. Well, yeah, and next, we go back to that first Niagara tournament. Up until probably last year, it was Matt helping me with setting up all the live feed stuff. Like we'd be up, a few nights prior to that there, just to get all, like, he did all the graphic stuff. So now when you see all the crappy graphics, it's because I'm got to do it myself. It's not him doing it with the more knowledge that he has. So it's, so he was doing that, trying to help me with that. If I went down, he'd be trying to help me get back up again. And now I've kind of learned a bit of that on my own. But like I said, he's done so much, and cornhole would be nowhere near where we are in Canada today without him. So big, if you when next time you see him at an event, or if you're even watching now down in the States and you're in Iowa, I believe he's down in Iowa at the Open down there now. I've seen they had a booth set up. So
Yeah, the last time I saw him was a small tournament that I saw him at.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
called Spencer's.
yeah, he was down there. Yeah, I'm hoping to get there this year. Maybe we'll see. But
No, but I mean, it's tough too, right? Because especially when you start to think all you players in Canada are kind of at a little bit of a disadvantage, right? Because, being ACL international, we're still kind of focused on, the tournaments that are happening in the States and getting that moving. And everybody down here kind of watches the ACL schedule just to see where they could fit their secondary tournaments in, right? Kind
mhm.
of, some of the local stuff, some of the fundraisers. So, you guys are kind of behind the 8 ball where you maybe don't have a lot of weekends to choose from.
Yeah, no, and then the other thing is that probably people that run tournaments up here will know, and I've kind of got some of the inside knowledge on what's kind of been going on with some of the open stuff, because I've been trying to, because I now have to get my schedule for, coaching my son's hockey team and my work to kind of for these here tournaments, and getting venues up here. You can think, oh, we'll just go, we'll get this here venue, and it'll be whatever, but it's a lot more than that, because down the states, there's some venues, some of the bigger venues are given for free, or just or a minimal charge. Up here, like I know the last couple of years in Niagara for the Open, they're wanting almost 20K a day for that venue. And there's even places here now where we're trying to get opens set up, and it's the cost of getting a venue is just through the roof, because the venues still aren't sure of what cornhole is, what it's going to bring in, because it's like the ACL, they don't want to cut of the bar, they don't want to cut of anything, but some people are still used to other events wanting that, right? We just want your space to come in, so it's to get the bigger venues to be able to accept us to come in there.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, like I said, you guys are a couple years behind kind of some of us down here in the States. And, it's taken a lot of time to kind of get that through the head. I mean, I see cornhole at the campsite saying 225 per league night. That's a lot,
And
right?
that is, I believe, at you had a Legion or a Moose Lodge that he's at. I want to say he's at a Moose.
I mean, that's pretty much my bar tab.
Yeah, yeah. It's, but
No,
yeah,
but
see,
no,
so
but that's the thing,
okay,
like
so he's at a Legion.
no, but the problem with that is, you say 225, right? Because we'll go CAD, okay?
Yep,
At 225, at $5 a head, you need what? How many players? You need what, 25 players?
yep.
Right? Yeah, 25 players to kinda make that work with that what's that? Is that a loony, a toonie? Which one is that?
What the
No, but $5 an extra a head is a little tough sometimes, right? Because you wanna
exactly?
try to keep the cost low, and, some people that are kinda, running league nights might have to pay back for some of the equipment, so you might have to do, an 80% payout just to get some of your costs back. I mean, that's hard, so, you're kinda raking into the pot. Some people might not be okay. Okay, 80 at 15 per night, okay. No, that's good, but still at the same time, that's a lot, you know? Ooh, downtown St. John's Convention Center, 6K a day,
Yep.
and that's in where is that? That's in what?
That would be in Newfoundland as well.
Newfoundland,
Yeah.
Jesus, that's like you could buy half the island for that, can't you?
Well, it almost costs you half of that just to get to the island as well. But and James says that too because he's part of the four joke guys with Corey Ewart. Who congrats to Corey being the new ACL Canada Ontario Conference director. Names are getting way too long for all this stuff here now. But so yeah, so he's kind of taking over for Matt in the conference section of it. But like James, they have a great spot at the back alley bar and grill there in St. Thomas. So they're kind of in with the owner there to kind of promote it in that area. And I know he's helping Corey look for spots for conference stuff, and it's not easy.
See, now John Clark's got a great gig. See that? John Clark up in, Maine playing at Turfs, $25 per player for 8 weeks, and that's a one-time fee right there, and that's an amazing venue, and you know what? You screw me up every time you say St. John's because every time you say that, I'm thinking the Caribbean, and I keep forgetting it's in friggin' Canada. Way different climates.
Is there St. John's in the
I don't know, it
it's
sounds
Saint
Caribbean.
it's
It
Saint Kitts
sounds
it's Saint
tropical.
Kitts.
It sounds tropical.
Well, Newfoundland can be tropical at times.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Oh, but
Just
but yeah,
just like my ice bath.
yeah. Well, just there's about like 2 days a year that that they have better weather, but no, it's that's the struggle we have is just trying to get. Oh, now you got the other guy chiming in here now. He gave
Ugh,
me he gave me the brand new bat signal that he has. It's actually the Batman with the bat signal instead of the bat logo in the circle, it's actually a cornhole board. So when Jamie needs someone to play at the up at the shop, he sends that out, and I had to ignore that because I was coming here.
yeah, Jamie's cute, listen, I'll give him "Who's Donald McPhee?" Try to use my line against me, that's cute.
But yeah,
No, but and that's tough, I mean, but, like, just talking about it, a lot of people out there, like John Clark, has done a lot of work kinda, making those relationships, and I know a lot of you up there are trying to make those relationships and trying to keep it moving forward. It takes a little bit of time, but it also takes somebody that kinda sees what's going on at the same time, right?
yeah,
We play on Wednesday nights at a place around here. It's a firefighters club. They call it Reliefs In. And for a while, they were giving us, the space and they were being really kind about it. And they were saying, we're going to get the bar. Now we're starting to get a little bit of pushback as to, oh, we give you the space for free. No, you don't give it to us for free. You're
yeah.
actually making money now on a Wednesday night where, on a regular Wednesday night, you'd only have 3 or 4 people in the bar making 50, $60. And that's if you charged for every drink that they drank, which,
Mhm.
clubs like that, most of it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? But, like, some of these people have done some amazing work. 150 bucks a team, $50 to the house, $100 to the pot. So 66 to the payout for John. And, 8 games a night. That's pretty amazing. That's a pretty good night of cornhole there, Doug.
and I've seen some of the stuff that he does there, and it's great. But I know he's got the great gig, and I remember from seeing at the old Zooms that we used to have there that he's actually got a pretty good gig at home. That I'll throw at his place as well too.
Well, his place right now is not going to be well because I know I'm getting tons of rain, so he might be under a couple inches of water right now because New England has been a monsoon for the last couple days.
Yeah, we've had some rain here last week, and I've remembered now that I do have my golf clubs from when I was at the my last tournament up in Peterborough, and so the golf clubs are in the back of the truck with a ton of cover that leaks. So they're probably like most of the balls that I had from the that tournament. They're wet.
So your balls are wet.
Yes. See Travis here with Wallsburg Cornell here, which is up kind of by St. Thomas. He gets their hall for free on Tuesday nights because of drink sales.
Now, Travis, in the chat, is there a kind of a ticket of admission for drink sales? Do you have to hit a certain number there, or is it just because they're getting the drink sales? See, Derek is in Alberta today, and the snow is already flying up there.
Well, he's way up north.
Well, listen, we've talked to him in the past. I know he travels a bit, but wait a minute, I need to understand something. Is there any league in Canada that's called Northern Lights?
I don't think so.
What? Seriously, you guys like own that? There should be Northern Lights cornhole. You can play right by the Aurora Borealis. We can start doing like sled dog tours or something up
Well,
there.
that's where Derek's at right now. Oh, I'm not sure if Derek's saying yes to that. There being the one of the names of the places up there that he gets to play at. But let's see here. Travis says nope. They just want them to be here. It doesn't matter how much they sell.
I love that. No, because I know some people, some places kind of put in like, certain things to get there.
Yep.
Hey, all of Canada gets the Northern Lights. Listen, you all say A, and you all get Northern Lights.
But yeah, and I think we're starting to get kind of where some places are like Travis. Like I know, couple of years ago now, I was trying to help Matt look for a place for a conference event. Contacted the place in Peterborough. They'd wanted like a little over 2,000 for just for like a day and a half for a tournament, and and then when I said to them like we don't want the bar, you guys are taking full bar, whatever food you guys have, we don't want to cut of that. All we want is just have your space, and then they dropped it down by almost half for for the cost, right?
Well, and that's the I mean, sometimes you just got to kind of you both have to take a leap of faith together. Like the 225, I think it was. Sometimes you're going to do that, but you got to kind of renegotiate as you keep going, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're sitting there saying, "Okay, what did you used to make on a Tuesday night, and what do you make now?" You know what I mean? You have to like literally keep going back after that and talking about it.
Yeah,
No,
it's
50 players with triple X. That's going to be a lot of money right there.
mm-hmm. So, but yeah,
No, but it's good, Doug. So, you know, it's as we continue to grow, it's only going to bring more and more people in, right?
mm-hmm.
So you really have to help out, the players coming in, but you also have to help out the places that you're playing at. And sometimes maybe the players have to go back there on a Thursday or Friday night just to maybe get a drink or have dinner, right?
Well, yeah.
Continue building that relationship.
Yeah, and especially if they and if you let them know that you do play cornhole here or whatever, that may want them to come, really have you come back, and maybe they might help out the person running that league there to maybe kick something in the pot. Like I remember near the end when we were playing at the Edelweiss Tavern here in Kitchener, I believe they started doing a player of the week type of thing where one person was pulled out of the hat and they got like a free beer that week, right? Maybe once people start seeing that you're like that, then they start kicking that stuff in to help out
So
as
what
well.
we started to do at 603 is the bar kicked in like a 25 to $50 gift card depending on how many people were playing, and they did second chance a second chance playoff where you kept your airmail tickets and they pulled out 4 people. The first person stood on the right side of the board. The second person was the opponent on the other side of the board, and they kind of made the teams.
Mhm.
And you played that game. First place got like 50 to $100 out of the prize pool, and the other people got like a $25 to $50 gift card to kind of, make it so you came back and played or came to that, place later in the week.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's I think that's what we hope to get to here. But I think we're still got because we're still a little bit behind the U.S. with regards to getting the word out there. But it's I think we're getting there. So it's hopefully going in the right direction.
Well, the one thing I think that, you need to figure out because I need to go back there because I think it's a beautiful place is we need to find a place in Banff.
I believe the new ACL conference director out there is from very close to there. Aaron Drew, who was just announced there last week. I believe he's in the Calgary area, so he's kind of right in that kind of area, I believe.
Yeah, because when we went to Banff a couple, maybe wait a minute, a couple years ago. I'm pretty old. Hold on, it was like 15 years ago. I think Banff was a 2-hour drive above Calgary in a bus, but it's gorgeous up there. I mean, it's amazing. New ACLs is close in Calgary. So it's only going to get bigger and bigger, and it's only going to get better as we go on. But Doug, let's switch this up a little bit because I don't look a day over 65. You son of a bitch. Listen, I have my passport. I can make it up there really quickly on the Harley and come get you. But Doug, there's been some postings
Yes,
on the Book of Face.
yes.
Why don't you let the people know about a couple of those postings?
I'm trying to think. Can you hear me? Do I have the mic on here? Yeah, it's on. Wasn't sure if I switched it back on. Which ones are you referring to here? Because like you said, there's been a couple.
Well, let's talk about the one that was the 10 rules or 10 commandments of playing here.
Yes, yes, I've got that there, right here. So, okay, so it was them, but there was also one where we talk about league night stuff. There was one that was league night rules for one league. I think it was on the Scorholio app. Did you want to
Okay.
go through those ones there or the?
Go ahead. Wherever you want to go, you go there.
Okay, well, because I sorry, Ass Brothers, I didn't read the Ten Commandments of cornhole.
Who?
I have no idea who they are. They don't. Unlike yourself, they don't invite me on their show.
Well, John Clark has it true there. Thou shalt keep your director hydrated.
Yes.
I listen, that's the only time I will ever buy twisted tea is when I'm hanging out with John Clark. Johnny Johnny Buckets.
No, but there was that one post we see on Addicted to Cornhole that someone put like the rules for league. They're like, would you go and play at this league? Right, and those rules were one must be 18 years or older to play, which I think some bars you may that rule may be in there regardless, right? Or even maybe for bars it might even be like 19 or 21 with you guys.
No, I think it depends on where you are because there's a lot of places in the states that as long as they're serving food, you can still be there to a certain time, but it really depends on the state. Now, I live in a state that has a lot of old blue laws because of the Puritan blue laws in Massachusetts. So we are one of the most uh, back assward states in the entire country where we have a lot of silly laws that, like, up until maybe 6 or 8 years ago, we couldn't even buy beer on Sunday in Massachusetts, right? We still in Massachusetts can't even run a happy hour because they're afraid someone's gonna, like, have 3 drinks and drive into a tree. Like, you know what I mean? So there's silly stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I know, like, when I go out to, the Triple Crown stuff, it's at a casino,
Hmm.
and the casino that they play in, you can't even go into anything besides, like, the pool in the hotel rooms if you're not 21.
Yep.
Like, you have to quickly go right past the casino floor and be right up in the rooms because you can't even play in the conference hall. You know what I mean?
Which I think is what the ACL used to run into when they were in Cherokee because it was at the casino, right? And you almost had to walk kind of to buy the casino area to get from the from the conference center to the hall.
Yeah, well, you got that like 6 foot, 8 foot wide kind of runway, right? Where you go in between two sets of slot machines, but technically, depending on who looks at it, you're still inside the casino.
Yeah, and just Jamie does have it right, and that is on YouTube. You can watch that championship game. Corey Golbeck and I did defeat somebody else and his partner.
Yeah, once. Cute.
Hey, there's always that first champion. There'll never be a second first. The
No,
other, so with those rules, the other one was the equipment from the venue must be used. All outside bags must be put on the main table for all to share, or don't bring them in.
well, guess what? I'm not showing up then because guess
Yeah.
what? I I don't even like when my wife moves my cart in the driveway.
Mhm.
Never mind somebody using my bags. So, if you get to the table before I do, Doug, you can take my bags away from me and you can throw them against me?
Yeah, yeah. That was the one rule that kind of that I kind of looked at
I've
with a
paid
different
good
eye.
money for my bags, and you know what? I don't know how the boards are playing, so I might have 2 or 3 sets of bags. So I gotta put 2 or 3 sets of my own bags on that table?
Yeah,
Not happening.
and then you could have someone like me throwing short bags, and then they
But it's not even that. I don't even care. Listen, I don't care. Like, if me and you are partners and you're throwing a short bag, I could give a crap less because guess what? To me, that gets the bag beaten up a little more. We're playing inside. It's going to hit linoleum or it's going to hit the board. Who cares? Like, if a bag's going to break, it's not a good bag,
yeah,
right? Now, if we were playing in a parking lot, I'd have a little more. I'd maybe bring a different set of bags out,
yeah,
right? But I'm not putting my bags on a table for you to borrow them. Now, at Doghouse, we did run a different kind of night where you had to spin the wheel and we had bags 1 through 10 and it was kind of like a vending machine. As you like whatever number you got, you had to pull the first bags out and then the rest of the bags slid down the table. That's a different story to me because I now I'm playing with a bunch of friends and I'm okay with that. Right? Because
hmm
that's the night I showed up to play in. But I don't want to relinquish my bags to somebody else to play with them. No, sorry.
yeah.
Hey, I'll bring a ton of extra bags. I bring like, you know me, Doug, my
Yep,
car's loaded
yep,
heavy. I'll
yep,
bring a ton of bags. You wanna practice with bags, you wanna borrow a set, go right ahead. But if I'm throwing thrashers, I'm throwing thrashers.
yep,
You're not taking my bags out of my hands.
yep. Yeah, the next rule there was just return the bags after each game. The number 4 rule I've talked about at length on here. No outside drinks will be allowed. All drinks must be purchased at the post. No outside food on days food is available for sale in the post. So it is at a VFW.
Well, but, in that one, I am 1,000% on board with.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, like we've talked about, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in the US, whether you're around the world, like we have the ABC down there. I don't know what your liquor commission's called,
Yep.
but we have the ABC.
Here in Ontario we have the LICBO, the LCBO.
the I would laugh in their face every time, I'm sorry.
Yep.
But, no, but we have the ABC, and I don't even know what it stands for. It's just the first 3 letters of the alphabet to me, but they're the ones that come around and do all the checks and send the kids in to try to buy alcohol, but, like, if an owner and we've talked about this ad nauseum, me and you on different
Yep.
shows, it's $5,000 per container or vessel that they find at that venue that you didn't sell.
Yep.
Right? So we played Thursday night in our championship at a local league. Somebody was playing downstairs in a golf simulator, found 2 Blue Moons in their bag, brought them upstairs to drink them while we were playing because it's been sitting in my golf bag for a year. Now you have to drink them because you suck, but
Yep.
threw them away in the bar's barrel. That's 10 grand right there.
hmm
And a suspension of the license. So the owner rightfully got pissed off. Rightfully, because that's bullshit. You
hmm
don't bring out if you can't afford to drink, don't drink.
Yep.
or don't go. I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
Yep.
But in the food thing, I understand because me and you talked about this off the air the other day. Like, if I'm at a venue and they're serving food, I won't order something outside. I'll maybe get, we're at the bar, we get fries, we get pizza, we get other stuff. I'll order from that place. But on
Mhm.
Monday nights when we played at VFW, they don't serve food. So we have a partnership with the sub shop behind us that will literally walk the stuff across the parking lot for us.
Mhm.
So, that's a completely different story. That venue doesn't sell food. That other place is a, sponsor of the night because they know they're going to sell 10 to 15 subs because people run from work trying to play cornhole.
Yep. Yeah. Then the next one is I agree totally with it. Is when is your turn to play? You must be ready to play. So try and go get your drinks or take a smoke break before it's your turn to play. You can always look at the screen on the main table to see when you're up. Th-
Well,
I
they're mis-
we've got some people that are like that. That you're always
well,
constantly. If there's someone waiting for a game, we know exactly who it's going to be.
but Doug, they're missing something there, Doug.
We've had one person say that they can't download that on their phones. They couldn't get it, which I don't get it.
Are they simple?
Unless you have a rotary flip phone, I'm not sure how
Listen,
you.
here's the thing. Everything should be run on Scoreholio, and everybody should go to scoreholio.com right now, order the banners because it shows them how to download the app and how to subscribe to the tournament. Because everybody should be subscribing. I'm sorry. You should be subscribing to the tournament and get notifications. Now, I know there have been some issues with ACL with notifications, but that had nothing to do with the ACL
Mhm.
and that had nothing to do with service providers. That had something to do with, I believe, somebody breaking terms and conditions.
Yes. Yeah.
So that has nothing to do with two different organizations. That has everything to do with one person being an asshole.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah.
And with that, the ACL had to scramble
Mhm.
and put together a workaround to fix it for everybody. So if you go to the ACL page and you are a Verizon customer in the US, I'm not sure about Canada if anybody was affected up there with
I think
Rogers or
there
Bell.
was some carriers that were affected. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure Rogers or Bell were affected, but I know
Yeah.
Verizon was affected in the US because that person may have been on Verizon. But if you go to the ACL website, it shows you how to log into your browser, whether Safari, Google Chrome, Firefox, whatever you're doing, and it shows you how to download and save the page so that you can get notifications. So that kind of works around the notification blocker that will come through text messaging, and it will then come through kind of a saved web page.
Yeah. And
I
then
actually did that today.
we're at 19 viewers here. Combined with YouTube and Facebook, we get we just went down to 18. We get we'll say was it 7 more viewers. I'm going to make a big announcement here, or some sort of announcement regarding the show.
Well,
Once we get to
Travis,
25 viewers.
the ACL is working on the app, and listen, they're not maybe working on the app as much as we want them to, but they're building it to what we currently have today. They're not future proofing it yet, perhaps, but they're building it to what we need kind of as we're kind of going forward.
Uh, Next one, I was kind of unsure about this one as well. No excessive yelling or taunting of the players while tossing the bags.
Fuck, I'm out, Doug. I'm
Oh
fucking
yeah,
out.
yeah.
I'm done.
Unless my thing is not exactly while they're in their throw, because I've talked about it before. My first time down in Cherokee, I was about to throw to actually be able to win a game with Mike Harrington Sr. as a partner, and I had a guy who was not happy that someone from Canada was going to defeat him. And just as I was about to release the bag, he kind of reaches over the board, gives a big clap because he threw his last bag off, and he was kind of upset with that. But whatever.
So Alan Castro says no yelling because he plays with me on Monday nights. But listen, I yell a lot, but I'm not yelling at the people that are in my game, right?
Right.
Or at the time they're throwing, right? You know me, Doug. I'm very loud and very boisterous. Alan can even tell you, John can tell you. I will cheer, but I will cheer after all the bags are done, everybody's picking up the bags. I like to be loud. I like to have fun, but I'm never gonna be disrespectful and do it in someone else's backswing, or moving around in the box is the other thing that drives me friggin' crazy.
Oh,
But
I had
here's the
one.
thing, I'm gonna yell, Doug. I'm gonna yell, and it might disrupt somebody 3 boards down,
Yep.
but I'm not even sorry. I'm not gonna say sorry, not sorry, because I hate that statement. I'm not even sorry. Like, it's I wanna keep playing and I wanna have fun. But you know what? The as long as you're not being disrespectful or, trying to throw someone off their game to be a complete DB, have fun.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, and I had one person playing Thursday night at our league night. I was in the twice. I was in the midst of throwing, and they went down to pick up bags that were behind the board, like right directly behind the board, and it's just you know there's no need for that or bending down right beside the board because for me I can lose focus very quickly, and if I'm okay with people walking behind the boards, you're gonna get that, but if there's
Listen,
some
Doug, especially if I bent over, you be checking me out.
you know, but yeah, there's that, or just or you're wearing a Halloween costume when it's not Halloween. That can get annoying. But other than there,
Pikachu. Excuse
have
me.
go and just league nights are for fun. Be whatever.
Oh,
It's just
Doug, we have been graced by greatness.
he heard us talking all nice about him
Yes, the man, the
before
myth, the legend is
the
in the house. What's
yes
up, Maddie? How you doing, baby?
the guy like I said, Matt. I told everyone before. You are one of the main supporters of the show when I first started to get me going, and there's some people out there that think Matt and I don't like each other. That's sometimes a show, maybe
Matt,
not on his part sometimes, but
Matt, I just had to say, it's all your fault.
but no, it's out there. Then the then the next rule in that league was no children allowed after 8 p.m. But we had talked about that.
Yeah, that could be just where they are, where they sit. That's a
Yeah,
hard one because you can't like some establishments, it's all based off their license. So
yeah.
you can't fight it. I mean, listen, I love when kids come and play. I think it's amazing, but I'm not gonna argue with that one because I don't know their circumstance.
And then the final rule was I think a lot of people said that it was the Ryan Smith rule, no sleeveless shirts,
Yeah,
which
what
I got no idea why you can't wear a sleeveless shirt in to the league night, but
wait, can I ask a question? And I'm gonna pose this to the chat. Is a tank top a sleeveless shirt? Because it's a tank top. There's a difference between a sleeveless shirt and a tank top. I will argue that to death. But yeah, a sleeveless shirt is when you cut wait, the sleeves are just missing, right?
right.
Like some of the Harley shirts I have where I think I look really cool, but maybe I don't. I don't know. But you know, I got like, the 2-inch pythons as
Hmm.
I'm going down the highway on the Harley. But I mean, what is a sleeveless shirt?
Yeah, I've got Clark knows what's going on there.
Well, in Cornhole Campsite says, it could be a venue rule, but a tank top, you know, um, Dave Burney, some might call it. This is a horrible term, and I'm gonna put a quick disclaimer on this. Some might call them the wife beaters with the little spaghetti straps, spaghetti. But listen, what about short shorts?
That'd be something against Matt Sorrell's then.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ, that kid, fuck shorts.
Although I did, what, at the pro qualifier, his shorts looked a little longer than usual.
Well, I think he shrunk a little.
You know,
Any other rules there, Dougie?
that was it for them.
That was
So
it for them.
that was it for
Yeah,
them.
listen, I get some, I don't get others. It's tough, and I think Matt and John and some of these other people that run some pretty big tournaments can kind of tell you sometimes it is about kind of the people that own the venue that you're kind of tied into, right?
Yep.
Um, it's tough. I know around me there are some of the places we play. You can bring a beer to a certain point, right? Even in New Hampshire, right? Do you know what New Hampshire's logo is? This slogan?
I believe from watching that one TV show, it is the live free or die state.
Yeah, live free or die. You just can't drink in the parking lot. Okay. So we were playing at a bar, and it's a really big popular league here, 603, and we were playing in the back bar. And this has nothing to do with the bar. This has everything to do with the town. Okay. So don't take this any other way. The town would not let us drink in the parking lot where we had the cornhole board set up, even though there was a friggin' baseball field behind us that they could drink at and everything else. They would not let us drink because it was on the blacktop. They had to get a special permit. They had to go in front of a committee and everything else like that. But it's like, I'm less than 7 feet away from the bar.
Hmm.
Literally, there's a bar with a roll up door that I can go get my drink at, but I have to leave it behind a yellow rope and not bring it out into the court, which, is silly, but it's just one of those things that it's not the bar, it's the town or somebody else that's controlling it based on their views or whatever it is, or
Yep.
their laws that they want to put in place, which is silly.
Yep. So one thing I do want to do before we kind of go on a little more, the Cornhole Newfoundland had their regional today. Just a couple of the results for them. Their singles. Intermediate Sherry Tucker defeated Jack Eason in the intermediate singles play. Intermediate comp play. Uh, Mark Patton. Mark Patton double dip Chad Rideout. Uh, Don Mercer defeated Matt Murrins in the advanced. And in the open division with Cornhole Newfoundland, who are you going to expect to be playing in those finals? You're going to expect to hear names like Albert Parsons, Dion Kuza. Derek's not there, but Jeff Walsh defeats Andrew Spencer in the final. They are 23-17. Now, I did hear that Jeff did put out Dion earlier, but Dion had to go to a wedding, so he had to concede. But he still played the game, which will lead me into my next topic.
All right,
Dion still.
first I got to say goodnight to John Clark. He's going to bed. It's
Okay.
dark out in Maine.
Yeah, and he's out in the sticks. We know that. But yeah, Andrew Spencer losing in the open division finals there, which he was he finished third place, one of the third place finishers in their qualifier there. Just one place short of getting a pro spot. Andrew's one kid that I think has improved a lot in Newfoundland, and I think Derek's saying that Jack Easton is a 16-year-old player, so that's getting to a final. I think is great for him, right? Because we all got to start somewhere, and if he's 16, give him a couple more years, and he'll be beating Derek.
Well, that's why I'm saying ban all the kids under 21. If you can't drink, you can't play.
Yes. Yep. Then one other thing with to do with Newfoundland, and just to make a little bit of an announcement, we didn't get the 25 live people watching, but I'll just make it now because it is almost midnight there. The Down and Back Cornhole podcast, limited sponsorship, helping out a couple players. Derek Barrett and Valerie Mayo from Newfoundland will be the logo will be on their jerseys and helping them out this year. So so the first two sponsored players from the podcast ever, because I'm actually now making a couple pennies. So to help them out with some stuff, as they are pros in Canada.
I love that. So, Doug, as part of the sponsorship, are you requiring the cod to be on the shirt?
Well, that'll be up to them because there's as you can tell there's no cod in this logo. So,
but you got to kiss the fish.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that, Doug. I love that you're at that point right now where you can start kind of bringing others along, and I know it's been a long road for you to kind of get there. So I think that's amazing. I think that's really cool, and I love what's happening in ACL Canada right now. I think it only has an upside right now as to where it's going. Where we've got some some really good pros up there, and we've got some really great stuff happening. Tell the Elter boys to send my new bags. Listen, you can't ship to Canada. That's the hard part. Listen, you got to get rid of that VAT tax up there.
Mhm.
No,
Yes.
but it's good. And just so everybody knows, I've been in talks with Doug to kind of come up there for some of this. We're trying to work out some calendar stuff where we can come up. Well, I can come up and meet him up there, and we can do some live feeds and some other kind of meet and greets and behind the scenes up there in Canada, so we can have a lot of fun and really start to drive this partnership and drive, this amazing time that all of you, even coming out on Saturday night, taking time out of your schedule to sit here and talk with us two knuckleheads about cornhole. It's amazing. And we want to kind of give back and kind of meet up with all of you.
Exactly, and that's the thing. And we've grown so much here. I know you've got a bunch of fans up here that people now know your name, not just from the from your former show, but now just with the voice of cornhole in the U.S. Um, Donnie looks a little younger in person. Yes, I'll say that.
Listen, here's the thing. If I trimmed my winter beard, I look damn handsome and young. I look damn handsome with it too. No matter what I do, I look damn handsome. But
Well, as I was setting up the show time, I'm not sure if you've seen it. There's a new thing in StreamYard. It will actually clean up your image of you. Um, that looked.
yeah,
I didn't do it for this show, but it's
I broke that feature
yeah,
when they try to do mine.
yeah. But yeah, coming up one of the final topics for tonight that I was going to talk about was my. I don't want to say it's a frustration. Stack brackets, because I know one of our first regional tournaments here, there was some stack brackets where people were able to opt out of it, and for me, maybe I'm different. Maybe people have different things but my feeling is that if they're gonna have a stack bracket to see just kind of where you finish, I would like ACL to make a thing with that where it does count towards points or whatever. And if you do happen to forfeit your games in the stack bracket, then you just automatically drop to the bottom. Now, I don't know. Maybe I might be different. Maybe some people have different thoughts on that. But if it is going to be part of it to be able to get more games in for others, when you forfeit your games and just say, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to play. That takes games away from the other people.
Well, I think if you walk away from a game, right? We kind of dealt with this on our Wednesday night blind draw stuff, which isn't as big as kind of ACL stuff, right? There needs to be some sort of penalty. I'm sorry. If you're going to walk away and not play because you don't see the need or you're upset about something, there should be a consequence there. I don't know if it's points. I don't know if it's not playing in the next one. I don't know. But I think there needs to be some sort of penalty, maybe, right?
Yeah, that's exactly my thing, because it's the stack bracket is there to help get people to keep the boards occupied, right? That they're not just sitting there. You don't have to pay for an extra sit and go. You're in part of that there. So I figure, you know what? If the directors put it in, play it out, right?
Well,
Like,
hold on. This is for Dave. This is what's in my sippy cup.
yeah. And for Dave, he's probably talking about my sippy cup being the ACL cup here. It is the and Dave is in Ontario,
Well,
so he
mine's a
can.
little mine's a little adult one. Look at this. So this is a right-handed mug. So you can look, it's got that little hold on, what's the camera? The camera's like you can slide your hand in and hold it. But I'm left-handed, so I have to hold it backwards so I can kind of slip my hand in there. Yeah, I see. He says, "Not you, Doug." He's talking to me.
Okay. Or if he's saying not you, he's talking me. I do have and David, like I said, Dave is on Ontario, so we can go to the lickbo.com and get the where's it right there? The Harris Beach Rye 51 spirits.
You still haven't answered my question. I asked you a question like 4 months ago, and you still haven't answered it.
I'm still waiting for the answer.
Well, can we figure this out?
Well, now that it's on the lcbo.com, you can try
What
it
is that?
tonight.
Lickbo.com on?
lcbo.com, the Lickbo.
That is the strangest government organization I've ever heard.
Well, it is just the Liquor Control Board of Ontario. People call it the LCBO, but Why not just call it the Lick Bowl,
Call it the Ligbo.
right?
I love it.
But, but yeah, that was my little rant about the stack stuff. I know off air we talked also about live feed stuff because Wally was having some issues down in Des Moines this weekend, which I believe is where Matt is this weekend. Are you not, Matt? If you're still watching, but yeah, it's and we talked off air that like I even had my signal here last week. Well, a couple weeks ago, I now believe it may have been the stuff I was using. But when you go to tournaments and you're trying to do a live feed, and if you're not wired in or given a specific Wi-Fi stuff, you have a hard time because you're battling with all the other players trying to get Wi-Fi. And if you can't connect, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, look, I can connect."
Well, but here's the other hard part, Doug, and we didn't talk about this. I was kind of thinking about this as we went along, is that we all doing our live feeds or doing, commentary or doing like the broadcast boards. We test to the umpteenth degree to make sure everything's working
Yeah,
before a single human is in the venue, right? I know I've done it ad nauseum. I did it one day so much, I forgot to plug my soundboard into my computer. So for the first like half an hour I was broadcasting video, but not audio because I forgot to hook the audio up. But y like, it comes to that, right? You wanna make sure everything like, I get there early, bring my case out, get all the cords right, and you're literally going through this mental checklist, and then if you're not hardwired or you don't have a hidden network from the rest of the players, it makes it that much harder because I did that. I did one tournament for a local charity, and I got there, like, an hour early, and the stream looked impressive. Like, I was running it at 720. I'm like, "Alright, going through Facebook, 720." I know Facebook's gonna dumb it down a bit, but 720p, this is gonna look amazing. Everybody's gonna see, like basically, they'll see, like, where the numbers are on, like, the 8-4 on the bag. This is gonna be
yeah,
amazing. The second 8 people showed up, my feed just went in the shitter.
yeah,
It just died. And at the same time, we had a food truck outside that gave me, like, one of those, like, Applebee's pagers, and that thing was vibrating, but my cameras were dead.
yeah.
I'm like, "I can pick up my burger, but I can't get the live feed to work. What the hell is going on?"
Yeah, it reminds me of a time that Jamie Cowan and I were actually doing commentary on a term we had here in St. Clements, and we were on it. Like we had probably the best commentary I have ever done. We were throwing one liners in because it was the event was sponsored by Murphy's Law Moonshine here out of Elmira, and we were throwing in the Murphy's Law quotes when people would miss a bag after hitting something big, or if we had talked about it. And then after the game, we were like, yes, we finally we're all done. It was like the best, and then we realized that we didn't hit go live or start recording in OBS, and we we were a good solid like hour and a half in commentary there, and it's like we had nothing.
Listen, when we were in Canada, I tried to share a mic with Stacy, and me and him talked for 2.5 hours, some of the greatest conversation I've ever had, and half the people were like, "We only heard half the conversation
Yeah,
because you 2 idiots were sharing a mic."
yeah. I'll take credit for that because it
No,
was.
but listen, I was, like, 7 beers in, and when I go to Canada, I feel like I'm winning.
Well, yeah, because your 7 beers is like what, like 32 back home.
Yeah, I was like, the lady's like, "That'll be, $7." I'm like, "No, that's like 5."
Yeah,
So I felt like I was winning. It was great. It was amazing.
but yeah, it's yeah. So that's the thing is, so when you're at a venue, and there is I'm doing live feed or someone else is doing live feed. Think of them when you're trying to get your Wi-Fi going and doing a whole bunch of stuff and
Well, but also think of them when you're standing behind the table, right?
yes,
And I'm talking into a microphone and I'm staring at boards trying to figure out what the friggin' score is or what just happened on the boards and commentate on it. And you're yelling at the back of my head,
yep,
right? If you want to come on, tap me on the shoulder. We can talk about it. I will bring most people on to talk. but I know my alcohol content, and I know where I can handle it. But other
Yeah,
people, I don't know theirs. So sometimes it's like, oh, let's hold on a second here.
yeah. And the other thing is the people that come up to talk to you in your live feeds tap you on the shoulder to say, "Do you know what court I'm supposed to be on, or do you know where this court is?"
I always send them to court 52 in the parking lot.
I right now all I know is where court 1 is because that's where I'm
I
working.
I just I just say you need to find Matt Pleel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got many stories with him for that there, and he had put up, well, he has and still is
Doug,
putting up a lot with my crap.
during a live feed, maybe at Spencer's, somebody asks where the bathroom was.
Oh,
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
yeah, there's some sand over there. Just dig a hole, go there, and just cover it up.
So, Doug, is there a down and back email address?
Well, there is it's still the old one, dnb with corndug.gmail.com.
All right, so friends, we're going to do this again very soon. Maybe next
Yes,
week, even. If we can get 10 questions from 10 viewers, we will do an hour and a half next week.
for sure.
So 10
Yeah,
questions, 10 viewers.
because they can also go to the Facebook page, hit the message the show, right, and then even to help out the show, there's a little button next to that says shop now. They can go to that and pick up a hoodie, a t-shirt, a bucket hat. I got shorts on there that they can buy. I know it's getting winter in Canada here now, but you can buy shorts. Any little thing would help out the show.
I just
And
say you could buy certain things, but I don't know if it ships to Canada.
call it the campsite, aka Keaton. I think from what you're actually not looking after at home, you actually probably know where they come from.
Um, anywhere but your cousin. Alan Castro, you know what my favorite color is? It's right behind me. It's black and orange, baby. Harley colors.
But yeah, this has been fun. I was kind of wasn't sure when we'd be able to do another one of these here, but fortunately, I'll be able to change over my son's hockey practices from 8:30 to 9:30 to now on Sundays. So I have every Saturday night that I'm not working. So I'll be 4 of every 5 Saturdays that I'm able to do this when I'm not doing a live feed someplace. And I think we can have some fun here on most Saturday nights.
I love it. Doug, you have a few minutes?
Sure.
All right, so if I'm gonna put Doug out there on the spot. If you want to talk to Doug some more, I need you to send Doug a message right now, and maybe we can do something special together. All right,
So
Doug,
yeah,
take us out.
if you're a bag company and you're looking for to maybe sponsor a show, be like everyone else and just send a message. But just everyone else, have fun playing cornhole. Jamie says nope because I know that he's just a negative Bruins fan.
Go.
That's all he
All
likes.
Bruins fans are negative.
Yeah. Well, I can't say all because my father was one. I've got a couple of Bobby Orr kind of statue things here. I've got the Bobby Orr album just over there, like a recorded interview album that he did. Yeah. So, yeah. So yeah. So everyone have fun. We will see. Hopefully, I'll have a show next week for the down and back. It's been trying to get people to come on. It's been a little tough, but hopefully we'll have one come up soon. And because if you haven't seen it, feedspot.com, the Down and Back Cornhole Podcast, the number 3 podcast cornhole podcast on the web. They only list 6, but I'm in the top 10, they said. So it is what it is. Guess it's something. Who knows? But still, have fun. And if you're out there playing cornhole, have some fun. And Ed Kwan, Mr. Miyagi, if you throw better, maybe I can win something.